you have to wait until marriage. But people say, I'm in a committed relationship. I've been dating this girl for years. She's going to be my wife. Maybe it's finances. Maybe it's she's finishing up college. There's this rationalization in their head that it's okay. I'm telling God I'm going to be with her. But I just wanted your advice for those guys out there that they might be in a relationship. They might put God at the center, pray together, but they're committing that those sexual things, the most intimate form of love, before they put the...
Okay, so stop it right here. I haven't seen this video, but I've never had sex before, but I don't think sex is the most intimate form of love. Well, I could be wrong, but I think I have a quote on my in my green book. I'd rather pray with my wife than have sex with my wife. Well, I don't want to exalt myself into the... I've prayed with... The problem is I've never had sex, so I guess I can't disagree with this. I guess it would be foolish of me to disagree. But there are a bunch of different forms of love. How about this? John 15:13, he who... No greater love than this, he who lays down his life for his friends. How's that for intimate?
On their finger, and
That's just one of the ways that is more intimate.
Married, so...
But
just...
I don't know. I thought I had a zinger there, but I didn't.
Thoughts on
Maybe I'm downplaying sex.
that?
All studies show that those who live together before they get married have a way higher divorce rate.
Wow.
And my friends who live with their girlfriends are always the first ones to say, well, it's good that I'm test driving the vehicle. You got to test drive the vehicle before you buy it, Stuart, obviously. But the studies are completely against that. I love what you said, though, because it's such a slippery slope in our culture today, because now 75% of evangelicals think that premarital sex is fine. That's a...
What? No.
I love what you said, though, because it's such a slippery slope in our culture today, because now 75% of evangelicals...
We're all going to hell. We're all going to hell. There's no... We're all going to hell, you guys. We're all going to hell. Evangelicals. Oh, we're going to hell.
think that premarital sex
I don't know what to say.
is fine. That's a high stat.
This is why we need new words for Christian. The word Christian has been infiltrated by... Oh my goodness. Okay.
And so it's one that we see where it's such a slippery slope to sexual issue and with lust, where people just want to rationalize it so much and just kind of say, well,
yeah, I was telling my friend CJ the Hindus are even... The Hindus used to be against fornication, and now they think it's whatever. There's a lot of loopholes. Religion has kind of been objective truth in the past, and now it's been presented itself as objective truth, and now it's been, like I said, infiltrated by subjective truth.
one is one.
People, they say, well, we found out by experience that sex is this great thing. Sex outside of marriage is this great thing. So let's reinterpret our religion. I guess I get it, but at the same time, they're wrong. Is the problem as well?
No.
They're wrong about this.
Yeah, well, but obviously we're not going to steal, and obviously we're not going to be greedy, and we're not going to let our tempers flare up. That's all embarrassing. We would never do that kind of thing. Sex, come on, our culture really says it's okay.
Our culture says it's
polyamory right now, open marriages, those who are in open marriages are considered, according to the New York Times recent poll, less weird than Sunday school teachers. So that's just another example of where our sexualized society is. It's like, it's an open marriage, that's fine. It's normal. You're test driving multiple vehicles now, and you get to own one. When you're in a committed relationship, one in which you're not only
we're all going to
giving
hell.
your body...
The world is wicked enough for Christ to return, but the saints aren't ready.
Physically,
it is what it
to a
is.
spouse, but spiritually as well. I think you can only, sexual relationship only give your body fully with the covenantal piece of God blessing it to have a holistic relationship that not only glorifies God, but one that brings security to each other, security to your kids, and helps you live the most joy out of. I had many girlfriends before I got married. Marriage was so much better in terms of the security and the loyalty piece behind it and the friendship behind it, that I would never want to go back to what I had previously. So people got to wake up with that, because again, the reason why the divorce rate is so high and still climbing at 54% is because they still want this type of whatever works for me, my own personal happiness, and if you fit my goal and my dreams, my strategy for life, I'll stay with you. But if not, no, this covenantal thing, not a thing. Let's just stick with the written contract that we can get down at town hall. Yeah.
The divorce is also 33% among the righteous, which is way worse than the 54% number.
It's just
Uh,
a lot easier. So no, God calls us to covenant.
I was in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I figured our divorce rate was 2 or 3%. I thought everyone was perfect. They warned me and they said no one's perfect, and our church is not perfect, and we have these special sins, and I said, nah, I don't believe you. Everyone's like Sister Tiawa and Sister Bolter, and there's no way you could convince me otherwise. And then I was sitting in Gospel Essentials, and this guy raised his hand. To his credit, he wasn't very happy, but he said, yeah, the divorce rate's rising in our church. It's 32%. And I was like, huh? And that's the lowest in the entire world. And there's different ways to justify it. One is like, it's like, maybe we have a less tolerance for evil. My cousin, well, I don't want to get, I'm not going to say his or her name, but one of my cousins got a divorce where, their spouse, anyways, I don't even want to say this story, actually. But, anyways.
And an atheist, like, I can't believe I'm quoting Candace Owens, but Candace Owens, as much as I like her, a lot of what she says, one of the things I really liked was she really pushed an atheist on, why are you married? What's the purpose of marriage?
What Stuart is referencing is a viral clip from the Whatever podcast, where Candace Owens is surrounded by sex workers having a conversation about whether
the sickness
can get married.
But, you have to, if you want to save a demon, you have to preach in hell.
Do you believe atheists can get married?
I think atheists get married because they want a tax break. I don't see the point in an atheist getting married. Why don't you just live with your partner, okay? Whoever it is that you're dating, you're at the stage you said, I don't know if you live with your boyfriend or whatever it is. Why take the next leap? You're wearing cross.
It's hard to get into an atheist worldview. Religious people think it's super easy to get into an atheist worldview. What you need to realize is that there's like a spectrum with atheists, and more than half of atheists have a testimony of the supernatural realm. It's not that they have a problem with religion. They have a grudge on God. They don't like how the God of Israel runs things. They don't like any of the organized religions, but I've talked to so many where they believe in something. My ex-girlfriend was quote-unquote atheist. She believed in a balance in the universe. Okay, that's really weird. My acquaintance, I don't want to call him my friend anymore because I don't want to hurt the word friend, but I have him on a first date, and I know his last name, and I have his phone number, and I make fun of him and stuff like that. His name's Tom W. I'm not going to say his full name, but he doesn't even believe in the supernatural realm. He's 99%, he's like 95+% sure that the supernatural realm doesn't exist. He doesn't believe in anything, really. And he believes strongly against the supernatural realm. But I would say he's very strange, and most atheists are not like that. The funny thing, it's like they believe in, it's almost like they believe in energies, or like almost like karma or something, or they believe in almost like New Age, but the atheists, I mean, so there are atheists who believe that people are better than animals. So it's like, So there are some atheists where it makes sense to get married, and I would argue more than half of them. But what she's saying is like a true atheist, with a truly materialistic worldview, they should be focused on money and on comfort and on feelings. So I see where she's going for there, but even an atheist, Romans 1:20, in her worldview, she's Catholic, so she needs to believe what the Bible says, which is that there are no atheists. So she's making a good point, but I think I'm making a better point where 90+% of atheists aren't even atheists, and the Bible even says that. But there are the Psalm 14:1 atheists and the Mark 6:6 atheists. Those exist too. So she's
It's
right
for fun and
as well.
Well,
But
it
I mean,
seems
if
like
you're
you're-
actually
you're-
asking
yeah,
the question,
yeah.
I mean, because then I would just be pledging the fact that I would want to be with them forever. I
you
don't
can,
really.
you can just be with them forever. So what is it
Right,
that you
but-
crave that when you want to get married? What's that next step for you? What does it mean? What's the difference between dating and marriage?
Because it's a commitment.
Is dating not a commitment?
It's a commitment, but it's saying a
But
next
you're
step.
but
It's
within-
solidifying it.
Okay, solidifying.
yeah, listen, in an atheist worldview, you can have fun, getting a bunch of your family and friends together to make a commitment. There are some atheists who value their word. Remember, they have the conscience given from God, and they recognize that conscience.
What? Because if you're
Solidifying a bond between
They just don't think it's
People
from
that
God, but they have
love
it.
each other.
okay, but what is solidified? If you can then jump into that next commitment, which is the exact same as dating, and you can sleep with other people, and you can put topless photos on the internet, what are you getting married for? Pictures on Instagrams to say you did it?
I mean, I'm not sleeping with other people.
What's the
but
difference for you between dating and marriage?
I just told you it's a bond between two people. You're solidifying that by law. You're literally making it known. I want to be with this person forever. It isn't just a simple breakup. Oh, I can go and do whatever the I want and leave. It's a partnership. It's a bond. It's forever.
But there's no difference between dating and
there
marriage
is a
other than the
difference.
idea in your head that it's a bond, because you're saying also
But it's not an idea
that
in my head.
okay.
It's on paper.
Oh, okay, it's a paper. That was the
But
point
it's
I
not
was
a
making.
but I'm saying
just
it's
piece
not
of
a
paper.
tax break. It's a legal
And-
thing.
and I think
I'm
for people that are
connecting to
committed-
somebody for the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, I think for people that think about marriage and don't think about a cross as something funsy to wear, it's not a piece of paper. It is a union between a man and a woman, a sacred union that should be protected from external forces.
Again, if the atheist has a testimony of the supernatural realm,
And spot on.
then they're not really atheists, and most atheists aren't atheists.
You don't believe in God. What's the ultimate purpose
You can disrespect the atheists that disrespect the supernatural
of
realm,
marriage
but
other than just contract? There's no covenantal.
it's weird how so my friend Adam has a quote. He says, "The natural man craves justice because he's made in the image of God," and I think a lot of atheists, although they feel like they quote unquote got burned by religion and they don't like this verse over here in the Old Testament and the flood and the whatever, they have a problem with the scriptures. They still have a sense of justice, if you will, and marriage is so beautiful. It's beauty that you could feel, so they partake in it, and they get the blessings of marriage. And I think Candace is missing that because she's so focused on the 10% atheists that actually don't believe in God, if that makes sense. I think those whores, or whatever you want to call them, the sluts, I don't think they're really
Is for it,
atheists.
and why?
And I think because 90% of atheists aren't atheists, they need a new word for the super atheists.
Should you really remain loyal?
We need a lot of new words in this world.
To somebody.
A lot of new ones. And I tried to create superficial Christian, but then Christians don't. No one wants to assign the label superficial Christian to themselves. People, they're trying to steal all
So
the
that's why
words.
as Christians, we
There's lots of words being
have that
implicated.
burden, which is such a healthy, enjoyable burden to have, where it is to stay loyal to God and to one another who you marry.
Absolutely. And I think that comes back to like love versus lust. Like in the society nowadays, people aren't willing to sacrifice for the people that they love. So instead of being the man and leading your woman to Christ, many people are like, you know what? We'll lead into sex. We'll lead into this stuff. But what they don't realize is these aren't just these rules from God. I feel like that he's trying to ruin your relationship and he's trying to take all the fun out of it. But I feel like for me, especially going with celibate in my life, I've come to realize like how to truly love somebody, that God is actually like protecting us and trying to give us a marriage that's going to last a lifetime. And that's a gift, like you said, Cliff, that is to be enjoyed. It's not a nasty thing. It's an amazing thing with the one person that you love.
This is how Cliff explains how we are to view sex. It's not dirty, it's a gift.
Sex is not dirty. Sex was not created by the devil. The first sin of Adam and Eve was not that they had sex. Sex is a beautiful gift from God. It's God who made us male and female, and God could have had.
So sex and marriage is not dirty, but yes, it is actually. So I was, it's disgusting. And kissing is disgusting. It's all dirty. But what he means is like sinful dirty. If he's talking about sinful, then yes, I agree it's not dirty in marriage. But outside of marriage, it is dirty. There's more sex happening outside of marriage than in marriage. It's sad, but that's just the truth. People who are married don't have sex enough. People who are outside of marriage have sex too much. So, if you take a random person in the world having sex right now, it's dirty. But
Procreation happened at the end of a Q-tip.
I don't want to nitpick too much
When
because
a
I
man
know
and a
exactly what he's talking about.
woman
but
mix their ear,
I do want to
wax
nitpick
little
because that's the whole
babies
point
could
of
have
the
been
video.
born that way. He didn't. Instead, he created us male and female. That's a gift from him. But then,
And trans as well. He created us trans. Because we have our agency, so we could literally transition to a new gender. We can identify as however we want. That's a joke for the
it's
record.
a powerful gift, and it's such a good gift, it's such a pleasurable gift, that it needs to be guarded. And God has outlined that guarding is to be a lifelong commitment between one man and one woman till death parts them. So that is
And I don't exactly understand the depths of this, but I do understand more than when I was younger.
part of what
But when I was younger, it was more about trusting the Lord. Now it's about trusting the Lord, and I've learned from everyone else's mistakes. But I'm a virgin somehow,
propels us to marriage.
and 3% of the population is a virgin as well.
Procreation, enjoying sex, enjoying each other's bodies as gifts from God. But also, I think that God created sex in such a way that it's part of the glue that holds a marriage together. Because you understand, we're only going to enjoy sex with our spouse. We're not going to go
That's pretty good.
play in the field, seeing who we can hop in.
Yeah, my friend, he's never been married, but he said he was in a toxic relationship. I can't talk too much more about that, but that when times were good, when times were bad, it would be real bad. But then they'd have sex, and then it's almost like you get drunk on each other, and then you just forget everything. You forget everything bad that happened. So it's this. It's almost like a gaslighting experience when you have sex. And when two virgins get married, it's obviously the best sex that they've ever had. So
Sex
that's good.
with.
It's like, I feel like if you've had sex with 20 people and then you wait for marriage after that, you marry someone that has, let's say, 2 previous sexual partners, and then they repent. Then you get married. Then you don't have sex when you're fiance because you're both Christian, and then you get married and then you have sex. For the first guy, it might be the 10th best sex he's ever had, even though it's amazing. Then for the other person, it might be the 3rd best. So the gaslighting is present, and it can mask stuff, but my dad was telling me, like, you have all this unrighteous comparison. You know, it's like, I mean, it's possible to have 50 bodies and then you marry someone and it's the best sex you ever had, but if you think about it, it's like a 1 in 50 chance. But like, I was in high school one time. I forget. I think I was a sophomore. No, I think I was a senior actually. But the guy that I was talking to might have been a junior or something. But he had sex with 4 people, or 4 more people. I don't know. And he was talking about how he was saying how sex feels good, but then he said it does feel better if you love them. And I was like, what? It's like the love is a multiplier. I thought that was super interesting and not something that I expected. Anyways, I just wanted to say that. it was just weird to me. It's like, okay, it's like, huh, that's weird. You know? And I just want to say this too. I've fallen in love with I'm not going to name all their names, but I've had different, if there's 5,000 different flavors of love, I've had a few of the different flavors. I haven't had all of them, of course, but I've had a few different ones for girls, and they're completely different. And, you know, they're just different. And I've always been allergic to this feeling. And someone I know, you want to look them up right now? Why not? This video is almost over anyway. It's called Habib Movies. There we go. You guys gotta watch this. This is hilarious. So I'm gonna let you guys watch it. Not that anyone's even watching this video. Okay, I love advertisements. It makes the video seem better. So here it is, romantic movie recaps with the...
Hi guys, I'm Habib. I'm here to talk to the child. I'm going to the guest.
It's a pretty funny video.
I'm romantic.
Spoiler alert.
Company? Comedy.
Comedy. So music or English is the second language.
First movie when Harry met Sally. This is movie about dirty Harry. I don't give a shit about this movie.
That's funny to me.
This
He says
movie about love actually. I don't like watch movie about love. Too much movie make your heart weak.
There you go. So let's watch this part again, and then we'll watch the rest of the video. But I definitely used to feel like this. I'm embracing it a lot better now. But it's a feeling that God doesn't want. So Habib and I were making a mistake here.
Really, I don't like watch movie about love.
I don't like watch movie about love.
Too much movie make your
Too much movie. What he means here is too much movie about love. Too much love movie
heart weak.
Makes your heart weak. Yep. So that's how I feel. That's why I wanted to bring up this clip. That's how I used to feel. But I'm getting over it now. And when you read the Bible, you know, you got to get over it. You got to get over this. He's MMA, so he prefers other feelings. He likes winning a MMA fight is completely different. If it's a completely different feeling. It's almost like you get lightheaded with the love thing, and it makes you almost lose control. It's like it's almost like it's like being car sick, or if you've ever been on a boat sickness. But the difference is like it's better than the car sickness, but it's a similar thing where it's like a lightheaded feeling. And the Holy Spirit can be like that too. The Holy Spirit is very similar to falling in love with another human. The eros, well, not so much eros, but agape. Yes, eros as well, though. Agape and some forms of phileo. It does make you weak, and it makes you weak. So Habib needs to get over it.
This movie about never been kissed. This shit, no, she's not bad, but I don't understand why nobody kiss her.
It's just hilarious. He probably said a bunch of other stuff, and they just clipped him. Freaking hilarious. Habib is 26-0 MMA fighter.
Yes.
I don't like this. He's hilarious. And then he retired. 26-0. All right, that's enough.